2 seconds.
Live, mate. Good luck. Brian, I've heard you want to work with me, big Brian.
Well, it's that money you owe me, for all them years. No, it's great to have you on the show. It's Liam Ditchy. The kid is absolutely become the legend. I love him a bit. What he's doing, helping people in work. Liam, can you tell us what you're doing for people who don't know you, but most people do know you? Can you?
Yeah, so first of all, before I thingy, little baby in Liverpool, little Sienna Ray, that's the Instagram, making it possible. She passed away, lad. She was only 7 weeks old and died in a little cot. So the parents have created that page, making it possible. And basically, it's to help other families who've ever lost a child. So you should never have to bury your kids at 7 weeks old. So what they're doing when they should be grieving is fantastic. So anyone, before we start, if you can, please, making it big and possible and show some support, please.
Yeah, no parent should outlive the child.
Not a chance. But as I say, so no, Brian, as I say, Scouser, mate. And yeah, just grew up the Scouse way, mate. Probably the same as you. You know, obviously your generation's a lot different, but you know, everyone's just got each other's back, mate. As kids, you grow up, and it's you know, I grew up a bit different to some people, lad, but everyone's had a little upbringing, mate. It's good. Yeah. But what do you want to know, Brian?
What was it like being a kid? Where you were at? What type of mischief did you get as a kid? What school you went to and stuff?
Basically, lad, you know, you're a youngster, so you know everyone's always been, not everyone, but I had a good upbringing off my mum. No dad about, just my ma.
Right.
My mum, my nan, and all our families in Liverpool live on the same estates.
Yeah.
So it's a community of families who grow together. So
everyone
so then all the kids are like, you get the good kids who you know are good, and then you get the ones who you know are up to madness. So I was always on that side of the madness side. I think I first started my little earning money stage when I was about 10, 11 on the old paper rounds, lad, but didn't used to do them. Used to stash them under my bed and that and get complaints I haven't delivered. But I have my own regulars who give you a tip. But yeah, it's obviously growing up.
Can you remember the first time you got in trouble with the police then? What was that like?
I think I was 14 and my doors come in on Christmas Eve of police. It was a bad time in Liverpool then. And I had an ounce of gear in my coat. I was only a youngster, mate, and used to go out saving every night for someone. So bit of that one. So I was only a kid and used to run about for people, and I have a little. I think it was an Aussie craft, mate. So the police officers found it. I've gone to police station. The next day they're going on about like you're going to court. I didn't know about it, but all my mates from my area are all in the juveniles at the time and the detention centre. So it was weird, but I found it like, get here, I'm on my way to jail. It was like you knew you could come out and say, I've been to jail, I'm a fucking. It's stupid, but that's how I felt. I think most felt the same. So, I went there when I was 14, mate. I stunned 5 months. I got 10 months, do 5.
Right.
I come home. Obviously, 14-year-olds, mate. You should be with your mum getting a cuddle on Christmas. That's you know, this generation now they're on the iPads, but back then it was different. So, long story short, come home 6 weeks later. I was arrested again with a grand's worth of gear or something. Serving white and brown on the estate. Got 2 years, 8 months. While I was in there, they come up and arrested me again, saying while I was out for them 6 weeks, I was serving a copper. And I got, so it ended up being like 4 years, but I'd done 2 years, 9 months from 15 to 18 nearly. And mate, that's all my life's been till 29, right? If anything, the longest I was out was a year until I was 29. But
when did you get your big sentence? When did you get a sentence when you went to the big jail, not the? Yeah.
So you see people saying this snitchy bumperclart and all that. It's proper stuff, that name, by the way, Darren. Fucking killed me, that. So you see all that, right? I got 7 years for 23 grams of Charlie, lad.
Right.
You get people getting it with kilos of Charlie now and getting bail and getting kept out and not going, and then they get like 4 years or something.
You know what that is? That's because you're not a snitch. I got 3 years. I got 3 years, Liam, for the driving offence. Fucking driving offence. 3 years I got, and put me 8 different jails. because they couldn't catch me what I was doing. So they hammer you with anything, don't they? So go on, mate.
What it was, Bright, the year before, I was arrested in Brighton for some fucking mad stuff, mate. They arrested us for conspiracy to murder and like all different like kidnapping charges and that down there, and said we were in Brighton robbing drug dealers. I got not guilty on 2 charges, and the conspiracy to murder was like he was involved. It was just a stupid charge, but that went. Now, when I was coming to getting sentenced for a charge, I'd already served me time on remand because I had 1 charge left. Right. So when I've come home, and while I was in there, I was accused of doing someone in there. Again, Brian, it's a different world to what it used to be. So the police obviously thought they got me. I weren't involved in the stuff I was charged for and put in court, but they thought they got me. And then when the other charge came up, it was a quick, "Oh, you there again, aren't you? See you later, mate." And while I was doing the 7, I got charged with opening the kid in Lewis prison. He accused me of going in there and doing this, doing that. But in court, I ended up getting charged halfway through my 7 years with Section 18. So I'm 2 years in, 2.5 years in, and get a letter through the post. I forgot all about it. So I'm gone to court from Elmley, I think it was. And when I've gone to court from there, Lewis wouldn't accept me, so I have to go from Elmley every day on the Isle of Sheppey to Brighton in the bus. Right. When I was in court, the lad was like still with the gang attitude, like, but in the dock giving evidence against me. But the jury obviously seen through what they seen through. Look what they had in front of them. I denied all involvement. I was found not, something happened, and basically I was found not guilty. But then the judge reminded me when I was arrested in the prison, I was caught with a mobile. Right. And again, this snitchy bumperclad shout, right? Just look at the facts of this, right? People get 28 days for mobile phones in prison, 42 days maximum. I was in an outside court and just escaped a Section 18 charge. And then the judge said, "Oh, I'm an outside judge and I'm being taking care of your phone case." Pleaded guilty. He gave me 2 years with a third off for pleading guilty on. So I ended up, and without the time for drug tests and fighting, basically I ended up doing, I think it was 5-2, 5-4 out of a 7. Right. The day I walked out of that gate, right, to me missus and me missus' mum, and my life changed forever, mate. Because
can I stop you? When did you get out? What was the last? Was this the last time you got out? You said you never got out.
I got out on the 28th of September 2019, the day before my birthday, mate. And what they done, Brian, as well, when you're in there and you're wanting to come home, and you're like, "Oh, I'm home tomorrow. I'm home in 2 days." Yeah. The day I had in my head I was coming home, and what was on paper, the screw come the day before. Like on the spur of the moment, "Oh, you're getting out?" I was like, "I'm not ready to go." And it was weird feeling, and I had to go outside and phone people to pick me up because it was expected the day after. But as I say, coming home to me, right the way through prison, I was accompanied and I was doing everything I did outside. But the minute I come home and experience the energy of my missus and her mum, like, they're not from Liverpool, mate, so they had nothing in common. So everything I had was fresh and it was pure, and mate, you know what? If I'd have come home and went straight back to Liverpool, I'd have been in jail already. Yeah. That's me life.
The same environment of the same thing that you've done. When you're out with the same lads,
If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got.
Yeah, that's a good saying. So you're out now. So what you're doing now is amazing. When did you start? When did you get the catalyst to think I want to help people in jail to get jobs who were coming out unemployed and stuff?
So what happened, Brian? Obviously I come home and I was watching people doing things online, and like people in Liverpool doing stuff, and like not representing Liverpool, but like I know people who the laughing stocks. So I obviously knew I could try and help, and like I know loads of people, lads. I wouldn't say I got a lot of friends, but I know a lot of people. And through that, I ended up going on a podcast with Marvin. and it was to highlight, because people go on about county lines and all that, right? That's been going for years, and it's only just got a new name, and now the police want to call it something else and act like it's a fresh thing. It's been like that all our lives, so there's just a little excuse and a little way of getting that funding. What could be going on youth clubs and could be going. So my intention to go on Marbs was to just be honest and show kids. I video myself in work all the time, and you get people saying, "Oh, you go on about his work." If I was a drug addict and come off the drugs for one day, I'd be proud of myself. So going to work one day when I've committed crime all my life, again, I don't want to seem like I'm glorifying crime. I'm not. I'm not anti-drugs. I'm not anti-anything. I'm not. But if you ever want help and you ever finally want to come away from it, I'm just trying to show you on videos and work and by talking and using my confidence to speak that it's easy. Yeah. If you can film a fight, you can film a movie. If you can run a gang, you can run a company. There's my mentality of that life. I've got the same head on my shoulders, but
use it differently.
Yeah, so if I go into a group of men, it's like going into another new group of lads who you've met in a different area. There's always an alpha male struggle, but knowing how to live two different lives, what I've lived that life and I'm now living this life, the two combined, fucking powerful.
What you've got a gift of, you can go up a level because you're very intelligent and you can come down a level. It's like when I talk to people on council estates, I talk council estate way. I talk to people, businessmen, you have to talk businessmen way. You've got both sides of the track you can work and you need to have that gift. But helping people get back to work, you were telling me 300 odd people. Can you just let the folks know?
So when I first come home, I went to probation. I've never had ID. I've never had a bank account. I've been a ghost. I've never signed on in my life. No disrespect to people who do. I know I've made fun of a single person who does, but that's just, it is what it is. But I've never done none of that. So when I've come home, I said to probation, I need work. They're like, oh, there's training courses you can go on, but where there's not much we can offer, to be fair. We can go to job centre. So I went to job centre. And because my missus works and because I wasn't, how can I put it? They say in need of anything. I weren't even allowed to sign on. So I had no ID, no way of signing on, no money. I only had money what people had gifted me. And I remember saying to me probation, you know what? I'm going to fucking see what you're doing is disgusting. I know your hands are tied as a probation officer. It's behind the scenes, but this is horrible. And what am I meant to do? I feel like going back out and doing whatever I do.
Then I'm giving the strength to go and get the job, but a lot of people think, "Oh, fuck it, I'm going back robbing."
I feel like that.
They haven't got a chance whatsoever. They're not getting.
I feel like that. So years ago, for when I started committing crime, probation was public funded. Now it's all privatised. So all businesses are popping up everywhere, promising to help ex-convicts and promising to do this just for the funding for ex-offenders. What I'm trying to do, and I've slipped off at the minute because I've been focusing on this fight club and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to do, right, is instead of you holding a course for people for 10 weeks and charging £8,000 per person to the government, I'm trying to do it where you're a company, you've got 2 spaces. Phone me and let me know. I'll advertise 2 spaces for jobs on my thing. Get a job straight away. But some people do training for 10 weeks, get all the qualifications, and these companies, we will find you work. But at the end of the thing, when they've got the money and the kids have got the qualifications, it's, see you later, boys. We're going to start a new company now.
Next one, please. Yeah.
So I go from March to July, and again, it is what it is, and it's not for me to publicise everywhere. Like I remember I sent a load of data to somebody and said, look at how many people have got work. Their response to me was, you can sell that. I deleted the message I sent them so they couldn't see it and thought, you know what, I'm never going to ever put nothing like that on because it's people's data and names, and some people might want to be known they've got a job. Some people might want people to know they're not a gig criminal no more, and it's image. So from March to July, I got 300 and odd people in work, 350, 60. From there.
What year was this?
Last year.
Last year, bloody hell.
So from there, the odd go on, like what?
That's more than the government's getting.
So I actually asked probation, how many people have you actually got employment last year? And they said none because it was COVID. So whether I got people 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 10 jobs, or 100 or 300 jobs, I got more than them, lads. Right? They just put people through courses to claim money off the government funded when new clubs in my area, your area, boxing gyms, all these places what can actually help and put an effort in are getting close. So now the responsibility in my eyes falls to the older lads on the stage who are committing crime to, why don't you go and all put 100 quid each and go and buy a few football kits? And instead of saying to the kids, yeah, keep hold of that for me or do this for me, why don't you say, why don't you start a footy team, boys? We're going to support you. That gets them away. Instead of looking at you that way, be an inspiration, although you might be committing crime. And I'm not against anyone doing anything. Some people have to do what they've got to do. But when you're an older fella and you know the kids are looking up to you on the estate, use that. Don't make little foot. If someone said to me years ago, take that gun, I'd take the gun. If one of the older lads said to me, do me a favour, mate, go and start a footy team, I'd be like, yeah, sound, because I want to impress them. So it falls down to all of us lot now, because the government are using all these things and making people money. It's a big, doing what I do, I notice a lot of fake people because people message me to work with them. Now, you'll notice I don't really put much stuff up lately because all I've seen since I first started was people trying to use me to get people through their company and get people on courses. That's not happening. Now, you just see me put the odd post up every few days, like 2 people needed in this place. There's a job, paid work, and that's all I can do. But I'm not, I can promise people, right? I can say I can get you a job, yeah? So if someone messages me and asks for work, I offered them, I got some company who did go a minibus from your house to work, a minibus back and to your house. The kid said he had no money, he was struggling, he split up with his missus. The job was for £12 an hour, right? Do you know I offered him the job and he laughed at me, lad?
Yeah.
So some people need to realise, like, if you're at, beggars can't be choosers. You're not a beggar when you're coming away from crime, and you want to do this, by the way. But when I can give you the tools, mate. It's up to you if you want to use them. Now, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I haven't made a mistake the other day. I always slip up. But if you don't, you're not human, lad.
No.
So it is hard to change, mate. And then
Liam, what you've done is you've stayed out of jail all that time as well. You've stayed out of jail because you work on the railways, you tell me, and you love it. You go to work every day. I've spoke to you before, and you love the job. And I say to people, be grateful that you've got a job. Be grateful that God's given you that job to go to. Don't think, well, I wish I had a better job. At least you've got a job to go to, and it's keeping you out of trouble, putting food on the table, and you're happy and be content in your life. Be happy with what you've got.
I am, but you know what it is, Blight? I've been out of jail all this time, and the only thing that's threatening me freedom is YouTube.
Yeah.
Is the people on YouTube, is the comments and the snarky things people do behind the scenes. That's what's threatening me with prison. Now, for me to do what I've done and to me to get sucked into the poisonous web of all these trolls and people wanting to, I'm who I am on camera, off camera. I will speak to you the way I'm speaking to you now off camera and won't put an image on. So some people are different, lads. And again, it's not a reflection of me. No, I'll never fall out with anyone, lad. But lately, since 3D Fight Club, I think, obviously, I'm not a prayer. I don't pray to God and that. When I've been in trouble in the cell, I'm like, please, God, please, please. But when I get out, I never go, thank you, God. I never do that. No one does. No one.
Yeah.
So when you do it, things might work. So now, the other day, I actually sat in the car one day after all that Fight Club stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, you've tried to justify what you've done. You've tried to talk to people and give explanations about why it happened, but they're not you. You're never going to please everyone. So I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to go for everyone's opinion. I'm just going to say it exactly how it is. And yeah, it was bad. It was out of order, bang out of order. But, mate, like...
At least you've come up, Liam, and you said you were wrong. You admitted you're a bigger man. But the thing is, Liam, when you're successful in life, anybody, pop stars, they get trolls, they get hammered because they're successful. And that's what happened to these people. They're very jealous people. They can't stand well, and that's what you do. You go anywhere in Liverpool, anywhere, and hold your head up high. And most of your subscribers, I've noticed, are all from Liverpool. So it shows you what type of man you are. And what you're doing for people, you're doing brilliant, mate. Honestly, you're doing fantastic.
I'm trying to do it not only for my city, but obviously my city's my priority, mate, because it's where I know it's needed as well. So I'm just trying to not be disrespectful to anybody who's selling drugs or listen. It's bad to do. I've done it. Everyone's fucking done it. Or some people have. But
I've done it.
I'm not on here being like the rest, saying it's fucking wrong. You shouldn't do that. That drugs. It's so my whole support is Scousers, mate. And some people who are on here are not even knowing where they're from. They've not got no one where they're from because people look and think, stop lying, stop talking shit, stop. So with me, it's different now. Again, all these ex-cons who sit on YouTube on videos all day and night and smoke weed and do this. Whether you smoke weed or not, you shouldn't do it on camera because if you're an ex-con and you're saying, show people you don't do nothing to do with crime. That's all. I'm trying to be like a little. I thought I was trying to be like a little poster boy to help everyone in the ex-con, but it's too much stress to take on. I love doing it. I'll always help everyone, but all these people now are making channels off the back of talking about me. Yeah. They're mentioning everyone's names, but then sit there going, like, how can I? Like, do us a favour as well. Make sure you fucking donate money to fucking. It's bad. It's bad. But then you've got people like you, and I've seen it in your comments the other day, by the way, Brian. People saying about your stem cells and people should fucking. Here's the difference now, right? And I want you to use this yourself. I'm not trying to advise you, mate. It's fucking the tax man, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? I'm just giving you from a youngster's point of view.
Yeah.
This generation, where I'm from, and all these people are not yours, mate. Like my granddad's generation, my dad's and your age. Like, it's not image. It's nothing to do with image. It's pride. Yeah. So I can't imagine my nan ever saying to me, Liam, you and all the kids go and like help me pay for me stem cell.
Yeah.
My nan is too proud. She'd rather be starved to death than ask you for a tin of beans, lad. So with that, Bright, the likes of yourself, mate, I'll do anything I can. And people who, if you do end up doing it and don't asking people to donate towards stem cell, right? And anyone ever says anything fucking bad about that, right? But they can sit on channels and be friends with people who are doing it just to fund their lifestyle and weed habits and coke habits and designer clothes habits, but we couldn't criticize a man like you. The whole reason of like GoFundMe and that is you, what you're going through. That's why that stuff's created. People abuse things like that and abuse donations. They abuse subscription money. They abuse fucking everything. And then people like yourself sit there and think, I can't really do that, or I don't want to do that. I'm a big man. I'm Brian Cockrell. I can't do. That's what it's pride, yeah. And good on you. But at the same time, Brian, you're the reason, and people like you go through what you go through. That's created. Other people are abusing it that much. It's preventing people like you coming out and asking for help because people are abusing it that much. You don't want to look like one of them. You will never look like one of them, by the way, Brian. And whatever I can do to help you, if you do it, tell me. I'll fucking put it everywhere, mate.
Well, we love you a bit, you know that, mate. And what you're doing is great. And like we said, you can't please everyone. Even Jesus Christ couldn't. So it proves that he's the greatest man ever lived. But what you're doing in your life, the more successful you get, the more people hate you. You see, I hate that movie. I hate him because they're successful. You're successful. You've stayed out of jail. You've kept your job. You're getting people jobs. All the Scousers love you because you walk about. I know the Scousers from there can't even walk in that town because they're chased out of the town. You're loved by the people there because you're helping people. We love you. Your wife love you, and you're a good kid. I know you're a good kid.
Look, do you know what it's like? I'm trying, and if you've got a better idea or you've got a way to criticize me, show it. Like people on these channels, right? There's loads of YouTube channels now, by the way, loads. What have appeared since the Fight Club. Go ahead. Long story short, I have.
What happened? You asked me about the Fight Club. What you put your version first, then.
So before I go to that, you won't see one of them channels. I've never seen one help people
Yeah.
Turn away from crime or jobs or promote a charity or do anything. See this? I know at the minute I'm getting trolled bad, but if you want to put things everywhere, make sure that's fucking on it, mate, as well. Do you know what I mean? So again, to me, I am thick skin, but I've been down, and since the Fight Club. So what happened, Bright? We're in the turned up. I've never done nothing like that in my fucking life, mate. By the way, it's good on the fighters who actually do that for a living, and they must have very good mind control, mate, and must be very good. So we're YouTube people or Instagram people or people from ex-criminal backgrounds. We're not boxers or fighting men or whatever. We're not that, lad. So that side of it is the circus side, what people want to watch, like performing monkeys. But then you've actually got real fighters on that card who train their whole lives and dedicate their lives to sport. Yeah. So again, what happened that day could be bad and disrespectful on their behalf, but they got to understand the people on the other end of the table, where it's like a circus act. But at the same time, there's a few people in that little circus who actually have good intentions to help people and do things. So I've turned up, obviously, mate. I've been trolled for months and months and months and months of this fella. I never done nothing to ever fall out with him, and it happened, and I've only ever responded, and we've had back and forth. And to be fair, I don't want to go too much into him as a person and what we and him have done, because I've heard he's accepted my apology, although it wasn't directly at yet. I heard he's accepted it. But basically, mate, I fucking hate him, man. Ben hates him. Fighting Troll don't like him. There's loads of everyone don't fucking like him. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and make this about anyone, mate. It is what it is. It's happened. Yeah. So we've done the face to face. We're having an argument. I've turned up with like a set of blinds I've walked in basically holding the belt up, like holding the blinds up like that. I walked in. So it's like me belt, innit? You can take them and use them if you want, but you've got to be able to take it. And I had 50 quid because in the day he was complaining he had no money for petrol, so I'll give him a £50 note as well. So it was all banter. It was funny. The press conference went proper well, even though we were leathering each other. It went well. At the face-off, me and him had a face-off, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we don't like each other, mate. It's obvious. It's good for people to watch if they did want to watch. I mean, me and him actually getting in a ring and fighting would be good to people to watch. But then Ben has been arguing with him. Since as soon as he come in, he was fucking dissing everyone. Give him his due. It's like he was in London and he was in Manchester, and he come in and basically started to talk to everyone like shit. So it was calmer. Ben has had some bad stuff said about him off the other fella. Yeah. So when they've gone into ready, the living in London started at the start. First went up to Ben, and then in the end it was Ben and him were head to head, and Ben's chinned him and he's hit the floor. Now there's a film called Friday, with the few. It was a good film years ago for all the stoners. I've gone up to him and imitated that film while he's on the floor and said, "He got knocked the fuck out." And mate, I don't like him, and he's leading up to it. He was threatening to do me in and all that beforehand. And I was like, yeah. So when he's got up, someone stood him up, and we've come face to face. I'm pointing at him. Obviously, he might still be coming through. Something was said. As he turned away from me, mate, I'm not even making the excuse. He turned away from me and I slapped him across the back of the head. Yeah. Yeah. Now we'll slap him here on the side of the head, and it weren't an assault. It weren't a hard slap. It weren't. No, it was fucking see you on the 19th of March, mate. One of them. Fucking get up there, boy. So you've just been dumb, boy. But it was all
when you're cheeky when you're a kid across the top of the head.
Yeah, that's really. But Brian, like the flag I got for it, I get it, man. It was fucking disgusting to watch. It was bad representation of the sport, of me, of everything what it stands for. But my emotions got the better of me, mate. I've had a few sleepless nights about the fella. I'm happy my apologies being accepted, but at the same time, I don't want to. If there's a real grudge there and people don't really like, which I don't like him, I'm not going to make a secret of it. If he doesn't like me,
Yeah.
Let's just stop the back and forth and clickbaiting and putting names and talking things, and sort it out the way everybody on YouTube and in the fucking whole of the country who've seen this fucking circus happen want to see, right? Whether they want to see me get knocked out, good on you, because you're going to fucking watch it. If you want to see him get knocked, good on you. But
yeah,
that was bad reflection of me and the sport. I learned a massive lesson, disrespected loads of people without even realising it. But
at least you're coming out with it, and you feel a bit ashamed of what you've done, because obviously it's not that thing you do, but you've got the bottle to say I was wrong, and that's you're a better man.
See some of the when if you and Emma were physically targeted and people close to you and around you and your life and look, you've had it.
We've had it. I've been threatened to have my throat cut live on here, to shoot me, rape me wife, kill me wife.
What would you have done in your 30s?
I'd have strangled him now, never mind my 30s.
Now look, see you, Bryce, see you.
Yeah.
That is old school. So other people, I'll ask that question and it'll be like, I wouldn't have done it that way. Or you get comments saying you've done it wrong, or all these people saying that Ditchy bang out of order, he's a pussy. Last week I put a video up on the pads, but I was southpaw on the pads. I done it intentionally. The amount of comments and people who are now slagging me off that was saying, God, he's got a naughty left hand, that was left-handed, mate. And I'm not a fighter or a boxer, but just because I give someone a slap from behind, don't forget what you were saying last week, and don't forget the facts of it. If we get in a ring together, I'm knocking clean out.
People, the man in a heartbeat, don't they? 1 minute he's the greatest, and then he's the greatest, and they just do it. That's what people are like.
You get sucked in, Brian. I've never been
people love a drama, and YouTube drama on. They're full every week. He said she said. It just,
if you put something positive up now and say, me and Emma going for romantic walk, or you put Brian Cockrell just does Emma in, the amount of views either one would get, it would be.
How many people would get for that though?
Oh, you get where I'm coming from, Brian?
Yeah, of course I do, yeah.
So with me, I'm a prime target because I'm portraying the good guy image. We'll try my hardest to, mate. And, I have my own demons to fight, mate. Sometimes I want to go out and fucking rip someone's head off, mate. But that's like a drug user wanting to go out and get on the Charlie again. You've got to. So with that the other day, I've never done a card like that or fight. That was a mad experience, all that test. That many men, look, people that don't know, all on YouTube, hello, Ditchy lads, and like, they've all got big skinheads like that, and I'm thinking, the fuck's that? But it was weird. It was good. The lads in 3D Fight Club done a brilliant job, by the way. It was us who let the card down. The lads done it brilliant.
Was that Dougie and them?
Dougie, Dean, Ash.
He's coming on the show next week with John McLean. Lovely lad. We go to the Manchester to promote what they're doing. Them lads, people don't know this. Boxers are struggling to make money. Not every fighter is like Tyson Fury gets millions of pounds. That's no disrespect. He's the best boxer in the world. And they're not all like Mayweather. Some fighters only get £300 or £400 for a fight. Some of them haven't fought for a long, long time. So these are putting this venue on. So they're putting bums on seats. People are going somewhere to an event. People are going to watch their friends and that. And people are going there and people are getting paid. So they're going home, putting food on the table for the kids. So they're doing brilliant. They're traveling, doing brilliant.
As I've always said since I announced this fight with living in London, I've always said, anyone on here can ask Dean, Ward and Dougie, have I ever asked about money? They'll say no. Now, I always say it's disrespectful to even demand money. Like, to demand 15 grand to fight me, right? Me, just some YouTube kid, and he's just a YouTube fella, when I know people who fought. I'm very good friends with loads of boxers, mate, in Liverpool, and Liverpool's brought major boxers up. So I've got friends who fought for British titles and haven't even had 15 grand, and they put their life and soul and miss the kids, miss their upbringings just to put their head into it. So I've always stated that leading up to Fight Club, that we don't deserve a pound. We're not even worth a monkey. Like, we've got an issue with each other. Let's deal with it. And I just wanted to prove a point in the ring as well as obviously in the other. I let myself down the other place, but in the ring, I want to prove a point that every fighter who fights, for a living and puts their life and soul into it, that people like him.
When you're in prison, wherever you're in prison, you're in a pub, wherever, and a fight kicks off spontaneously, it's easy to get stuck in, because you don't think about it. It's just I'll fight in 10 weeks. I used to fight when I fought with bare knuckle fighting. I think I'm going to smash his face in front of your friend. You're dead tough, and then you go home on your own. You go, what if I get beat? So there's that idea. Go, what if he knocks you out? What if he breaks your jaw? So all fighters go through that, but it is hard to wait 10 weeks to fight someone. But a spontaneous fight's easy.
But lads, see me now. If someone looks back on my videos, mate, I'm shredding the weight. I'm in the gym every night, right? So, like, I haven't stopped going to the gym. I haven't stopped training. Just because I've done what I've done doesn't mean I sit in the house all day and like project it on here, or sit there like smoking weed like everyone else and forget what was actually the plan. Like, I'm still sticking to my plan. I'm still going to the gym, still sparring, still doing every boxing circuit possible. But like, how can I put this one to you, lad? Right? Anyone who's dedicated their life to fighting after the other day, what I had to go through and see and do, fucking good on you. And also, if this fight does happen, it'll teach people a lesson on YouTube that think the celebrities to demand money that boxers have never seen. I'll teach the kid a fucking lesson, and I'm just the same as him. I'm just someone off YouTube and the streets and Instagram. I'm not a fighter, but on behalf of all my friends who are fighters, I want to take his head off just to show. Don't ever get in and ask for 15 bags, mate. And now he's asking 30. Like, I'm straight talking. Seen me, lad. I'd have been happy just like. So I was going to give half of it to a charity through Paul Venice called the Daisy Chain Foundation to help kids with autism. And it was going to that charity, lad, and it's a sore subject with my little lads, and I don't really see him, mate. It's something I think I can do to try and I don't know, lad, but it was close to me heart. And I still haven't spoken about money, and I've said whatever I get, half goes to that straight away. Me percent to help kids with autism.
So you want to do is to go there, bash him for all the trolling he'd done to you, and that was it. Finished as far as you can say. You didn't want 1 pence. Yeah.
So in the end, right, if it gets to it, I'll do this for nothing, as long as 3D and the lads donate a chunk of money to the Daisy Chain Foundation. I'll give whatever you were going to give me, give to him as well, and boost his pot up to get him in, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you were going to give me, just make sure you give whatever you were going to give me, or just make sure whatever you decide. As I say, I want to just do it for the trolling. But anything I get, anything, you give me 50 quid, give 20, you can give the 50 to them if it's only 50 quid. But my point being is, it's not about that for me. It's about representing people I know who've fought all their life, who've never been paid like that. I don't agree with it, to be fair, but I know what the lads are up to. I know how they're getting going. Fantastic thing they're doing to help the boxers getting wages. People like me.
Yeah, it's
go on.
It's not a sport in the world, as you know.
It is, but me and old Sid living in a bedsit, like me and him. It is bringing the views over there. Now, whether that's through what I've done the other day, or whether that's through what he's continuing to do now, which I'm glad he said he's going to stop. It is what it is. But all it is has boosted that massively. Whether there's no such thing as bad publicity. So
to say that,
me and him doing that, mate, we ain't worth pay-per-view. We ain't worth people to tune in and watch. We are worth them to tune in and watch, but people who buy the pay-per-view understand my point. I want you to all buy it so the lads get paid and the lads who fight and do what. Obviously, mate, I want to go home with a bit of dough after doing it, lads. I've fucking stung my head in all this for ages, but I'm not on there like him, mate. I hope it happens, lads. As I say, it's no negative feelings on my behalf. Obviously, I fucking hate him, but I've given up.
How long have you been training for fight then?
So I used to do it a few years ago, and just for training, Brian. Right the way through the sentence, I've sometimes got fat, muscly, skinny, up, down. That goes all ways. But I've always being on the wing, having fucking straighteners, mate, on the pads, or we make little speedballs, or we'll have little spars a bit, or fucking slip socks around your hands. And
well, that's how Leg, who fought AJ for the British heavyweight title, he met Norman Buckland in jail, and he taught him to fight in jail. They sparred in the pad with the socks on their hands.
People who've never been there don't understand this, so like that's what I've done. And obviously, me two uncles, I've got me two uncle Tony and David Mulholland. Like one of them fought for the British, one of them's won Commonwealth golds, world golds, ABAs, juniors, seniors. Like I'm clued up with it, mate. I've got good people around me, lads. I'm close with a lot of people. I don't want to mention names all over it, but
I'll give you a couple of tips.
But I'm one of them lads who I like to watch breakdowns and fights from Spencer Fearon, Master Knowledge. All these people, I like to watch how they break a fight down, but I like to watch the fight first, then watch the person break it down on YouTube afterwards, and then I go, I went too far off what he said. So I have got a good bit of knowledge, but I'm no boxer, lad. And I just like the sport as a training, and it's good for your mental health. I'm still in the gym. If it weren't for the gym, I'd have been proper depressed.
I go healthy body, healthy mind.
Health is wealth, mate.
Yeah, and it goes in hand, because here's another thing that you said to me, we were speaking on the phone earlier. If you don't look after yourself, you can't look after no one. If you don't love yourself, you can't love no one either.
Yeah, because charity starts at home, right? Like, there's been times where I've forgot who I am. I've come home, I've got a lovely missus, we've got a lovely place, we've got lovely little dogs, we've got loads of intention to start a family together, mate. And sometimes I spend too much time on other people, so
you can't.
I've learned. When I find something I like and I think's positive and think's good, I run before I can fucking walk, Brian.
Yeah,
and it burns me out quick, and I do too many things for too many people. And this whole scenario from 3D Fight Club, not that I don't believe in God, I've just never found what.
He's there with you. I'll teach you.
I do. Look, I get it, mate, and I always thank people, like thank, and not God. I always think people. So, long story short, with what happened the other day, I've been stuck in a little cycle of people, and always like you end up with a cycle, then everyone gets a bit dry and boring, then they start talking about each other, then it all spirals out. I've been in a couple of them, and it's. I think myself personally, it was a wake up call and a sign for me to just show myself. You don't run away before you can walk. Don't run before you can walk, and watch who you fucking speak to, because some people are not 100%. If see me, mate, if I'm your mate and I like you and I haven't got an issue, and you will never, ever, ever, ever have a reason to fall out with me through something I've done to you. It'll be years ago.
40 years, Liam. I don't fall out with people unless they do something really bad. But if you're your friend for life, that's it.
But this YouTube, right? Like, it's like if I meet someone in a pub and have a pint with them and I get on with them, you don't really take the numbers and move on. But on here, there's loads of image. I've been guilty of it myself like that. I get like, I do something good and I'm like, and then I keep there, and you forget that everything around you, and you agree with comments and run away with yourself. And I've done it, been there, done it. So anyone I speak to, I just try and let them know, because I've been trolls off the worst 3 trolls on the internet, mate, and I've never come out of it looking like they have. It's bad, it's sad, and just use your channel to help people. And
people who are trolling people and calling people aren't happy with themselves. It's called mirror imaging. They look in the mirror at themselves, they don't like themselves, so what they do is they bully other people, project it, what they feel themselves, to project onto you, so it makes them feel good.
Do you know what it is, right? If, say for instance, I've got so many thousand on Instagram, and someone on YouTube who's big on YouTube hasn't got that many people on Instagram, what happens is they fall out with you, tag stuff in all places for you, and then the result is, it's always, in the end, they always end up saying, look how many subs I've got now. Like, it's bad. It shouldn't be done like that. Me, I've got 4K on my YouTube, mate. If I was on this every day, like some people are, from when I first come on in March, like in May last year. Sorry, I first come on YouTube May last year. I would be flying, but I've got a life, mate. Like I won't depend on YouTube. I can't depend on YouTube. And sometimes I get sucked in and read too much shit and then come on and go, you cunt, you've done this to me. And it's sad. And now I've learned my lesson. I feel like doing that again now. But I've get that incident in 3D Fight Club and living in London himself personally has changed my way of thinking.
Right.
Very good. After
really, it was a bad thing. You made it into a good thing, which is a good way to work. Because if something's bad and you make it into good, obviously you've learned your lesson. It's.
Do you know what it is, Bright? It's just opened my eyes more. Like there's too many people who I see jumping from person to person when someone's if someone's popular, they're jumping from you're popular. You're hang on a minute, you're just stagnant there. He's going more popular than you. Wait there, over there, he's a cunt now. You're a prick. You're a cunt. You're a shitbag. I've got pictures of you. I've got recordings of you. That's what they do, and it's just a battle. So I said a few months ago, I'm on here to inspire people, not entertain. So you'll have entertainment, people who just on here talking shit about people, or you'll have people trying to inspire others to do something nice. Now, I always say that, and I always sometimes contradict myself by doing a video responding to someone, but it's hard, man. And anyone I've ever spoke to, anyone who's ever got my number, if you've got my number, I class you as a friend. So if you're ever going to talk about me, anyone who's got my number and not phone me, and this is from now and in the future and in the past, you just like the attention of talking about me, or you'd phone me and speak to me and tell me. With me, anyone who's got my number, I class you as a friend. So when I see people who've got my number talking about me, it's upsetting, but it's a lesson learned from me again. And I sorry to say again, but if I'd be the first on the phone to someone if that happened to them. What happened to me the other day through my own actions? Leave me alone for a day or two and let me get my head together. But I've had Johnny Jab as well. I've shouted a couple of people.
You're only human, mate. That's all you are, human.
But I've shouted a few people out the other day, right? And the people who phone me, I'm going to try and remember now, right? Since the 3D, I don't want to mention too many names of people, but it weren't many, and it weren't for the wrong reasons. Like it was, some of them have done videos about me and then chose not to phone me. That's a choice. That's not. But some people haven't done videos about me and phoned me and said, look, you know what? It was wrong, bro, but don't beat yourself up. Don't do that. People who talk about you have done well worse things in their past. And Johnny Jab, by the way, I mentioned a few people the other day, Paul and Snow.
Really nice lad.
What a fucking guy. What a guy. Like, always there on the phone. Stevie Wraith, what a guy again. Massive shout out, Wraithy. Paul Stansby. And you know a weird one? And this is going to be weird, right? Now, this fella's on and off with me, but he's always his intentions with me are good. I know they are. We have spoke on the phone over the months every now and again. Exposure TV, right?
You were talking to me about telling you you're a good lad.
This is what I'm saying. So we told you I'm a good lad. This is my point. Like sometimes he'll clickbait me and have it.
Actually, listen to every word you're saying. He's on here now watching us.
Good. I like him. That look so.
Like Exposure TV.
Sometimes, right? And he's even like he'll do videos, and I think he's a fucking bastard.
But he's funny as.
He does them on everyone. And just
he does. He's funny.
This is going to surprise a lot of people, right? Because he actually speaks to people like don't like or get on me or dislike. That again, I don't hold that against him and never will. But he phoned me out the blue. I random, and you know what he said? Have you noticed I haven't put nothing up about you, lad? What do you mean? He's like, have you noticed nothing's on the thing? I haven't put no. And I said, you know what, lad? Respect for that, lad. And you know what he said to me? I wouldn't kick you while you're down. I know you're good as gold, lad, and I know what you've done's a fucking bit of a liberty a bit, but like we spoke different off camera. I don't want to reveal the conversation, but he reached out to me to see if I was okay, lad, and actually phoned me and said he sent me a video, about a few words of God and a few quotes,
Yeah.
What a fucking man! Now,
again, listen, he's a Christian, I'm a Christian, so so you're surrounded by us now.
again, what he's gonna do probably is go back to people like don't get on with it, like it. But again, I'm not holding grudges, mate. I like the fella. Some people don't. I don't sometimes. Sometimes I think he's fucking not the way to do. But what he done the other day, and I failed to mention in the video. I failed to mention him on my video the other day, and some people who get on with me might think, why is he doing that, or why is he... He reached out to me. Did you ask how I was getting on? He reached out to me. So anyone thinking, why am I bigging him up, or when he does this and he does that, he reached out to me. You made a video about me. You made video talking about me. He reached out to me and spoke to me and tried to make sure I was okay. You've done videos about me. And you have
they're supposed to be your real friends.
So I chat to Exposure every now and then. He just pops up and like, or I just pop up to him and be like, you fucking hell, what are you doing? Or he's the same, but people I speak to don't get on with him. People he speaks to don't get on with me. But
why though? Because he's so genuine.
Lad, he's just out there. At the end of the day, he's just out there.
He's very, very good at working people out. He's like you. He's very, very clever at working people out.
He's a scouser as well, Brian. So automatically, if wherever, anywhere in the country, and I see a scouser in trouble, you're there with them. That's what proper people do. So again, people might say to me, "Why is he doing that?" And have a little secret issue with me bigging him up, but he phoned me. You never. You made a video about me. He never. So respect Exposure. I mean that.
John Jab, Steve, all good guys. They're all. I said that to him earlier on the phone, so he's definitely working in you, Liam. Another thing, let me ask you this question. You haven't been asked this. Have you got friends you were in jail with? You still got friends? Are they out now? And have you got them jobs?
So basically, I've got friends who I've been in prison with who have gone on to be judged.
And you're the straight narrow now as well.
So I've got friends who've been in prison who've come home. I've got people in prison who are phoning me saying, lad, I'm watching your videos in here, lad. When I get out, I want to go legit. And everyone who's in there, who's watching them, is there thinking to themselves, when I get out, I'm going to do that. And I've got people, so I've just had someone come home. He'd done a very long time, and it was a bit of a public and bad thing to do. He admits responsibility for what he'd done. It was big at the time, no noncy gear or nothing like that, but it was bad. He admits what he's done, lad. He's revolted. He came home from it. But I've got loads of people who've done life and done long sentences who badly want to change, but get out of the same situation I did and be fucked. And you've got no choice. So where they've seen me do it, and I've met most of them already on my travels through jails or in Liverpool, I feel proper blessed that people can reach out from prison, or when they come home and say, my mates told me to get in touch, or I have people's missuses messaging me saying, me fella's out soon, and please, we've been talking, and I want him to go to work, and can you help him? And I'm like, no problem. Or people's mums, you love, you're okay, I'm bloody blah's mum, he's due home soon, and all that, right? Fucking made up with it now.
Where do you think this gift comes from all of a sudden? This ability to help people, this ability to forgive people, this ability to say, I'm wrong, I was wrong. You never had that years ago. So I think the Holy Spirit's in you now. That's what I think.
Brian, I never had that. I never had that 2 days ago. Never mind years ago.
There you are then. There you are.
I changed, don't get me wrong, but the other day it was, I wouldn't call it a relapse, like, because I'm not like that, but it's the same as a drug user as a relapse. That, and I'm not using a comparison because someone will pick up on that now and say, why is he comparing that? But
your analogy, what you're saying,
yeah. So with me, lad, like, I also struggle, boys. So any user were coming home thinking my life's just straightforward, lovely, and everything rosy and going to work. Being a working fella's hard, lad. Like, it's hard graft, bro, and like, you've got to get used to having a monthly wage and not, like, you've got to budget your money and be careful with it, and you know. Some people think you just get a load of money in your bank and go and spend it on a night out and going like, that is when you're in the flip.
Because people, when drug addicts, they get, say the wages at the end of the month, say they get £600, whatever, they get £1,000, whatever. People get paid monthly, they blow all in one night. It's gone.
I know. And then what do they do to get money for the rest of the year? They go back to what they used to do.
Exactly, because they're back on the gear. Yeah.
So, I'm guilty myself of when I've run out of money. When I first come home and ran out of money, my mates give me, I got a few quid off my mates when I come home. But when I was looking for a job, lad, right? People, I don't know how people think I got work. This is the issue. Like, people think like I've just been gifted everything on a fucking plate. Like, when I come home, I have fuck all with nothing, and I've never been. I knocked on every door of every business. I went to Tesco, Aldi, everywhere, personally, instead of going to the job centre to ask for jobs. And then I walked in a railway place and asked them, they're like, yeah, no worries.
Railway place, like a railway station or something.
No, it's like it was a training centre, but gets you your qualifications for the railway. But we're in a training centre like what you see for ex-cons. It's not an ex-con place. Obviously, they're allowed there, but they don't advertise for ex-cons. So I've got in there, and I started off on a 0-hour contract, mate, which means if there's no work, I'm not getting paid. So if there's only one, sometimes I might only get one day because people are contracted. But I used my head the way I used to in situations in that type of lifestyle and figured out quickly, right? To do this, I need to be friends with him. I need to go that way, do this. And from there, mate, I've just grew and grew and grew. So on the railway now, like I have my own gang. So I go out and I'm the ganger.
All right.
And some people have been there 20, 30 years.
Work you do, Liam, like manual work.
Yeah, manual work every day, mate. But it's day or night, but some people have been on there 30 years and know a lot more than I do. But people skills and talking and
leadership,
so I stand out because of my prison. Don't get me wrong, where I work, because not many of the lads have been away. So you do stand out, and you only stand out when.
If you had any altercation because of your prison, people say, why should he be the leader?
My first day in work for this company. I've never worked in my life, right? So my first day in work, I've turned up with all bright orange stuff on and a blue hat. When you go on the railway, you start off with a blue hat. Everyone's got white ones on and you've got blue one, right? So I've walked into the car park where everyone's standing to work. My bitch just dropped me off. And it was one of them like, oh, good luck, babe, and give it a kiss. And I was like, let's go to school. So I've gone over to them all. No one spoke to me now. Every time I walked over to them, they all knew prior that I'd been away because the manager told them.
Right.
So they all come on thinking I was like an attitude, and that was their perception of an ex-con.
Yeah.
So I've got all right, boys, who's in charge? And I might sound a bit. I'm like, I'm Liam.
Yeah.
And they kept walking away. So for 2 or 3 days that happened. And then I had a chat with an Irish lad. We were talking, he was all right, but then someone kept calling me Blue Hat, like one of the others who thought he was a bit of a boy down here.
Right.
And one day I just said to them, mate, don't you my name's Liam, lad. If you've been one of these before, don't think I'm a cunt, mate, because I've got one of these on. And when I done it, it was in front of people. So it was me publicly telling him, mate, that don't try that. So from there, it's weird, like people want to know you then.
It's funny how you say that, Liam, because sometimes you've got to put people in the place straight away, because if you don't, bully, then you're having a fight with them. So sometimes you're better. I remember going there. I was in there. I bring loads of scousers, loads in there. And I went on the bags, and there was a lad called Moxie from Liverpool. I said, hold that bag, mate. And I knew I'd have trouble because I was only one from the North East. So all Manchester and Blackburn and all Preston. I went on the bag and like it was on the documentary thing where you see me with McIntyre, and he'd say about 20 shots. I went, fucking hell, if you hit somebody with one of them shots, you'd kill them. So I won the fight without having to fight anyone by letting them see what I could do. But I go with all the houses, so I like that and used to laugh. But I'm going to ask you this: you're either blue or red. What team do you support? Liverpool.
Right. Proper Scousers only support one team.
Everton. Well, that's Billy Moore and Joe Happy.
Yeah, no, Billy, lad, see Billy as well, like.
He's good, lad, Billy.
See the way Billy's conducted himself and the way Billy's. and the things he stands for with the autism and the, you know, the gloves up, knives down, all that stuff he's doing, right? And the podcasts he's doing, and he has not once ever slipped into like an entertainment person to look at for entertainment. Him and Joe are inspiration for the city. I love Bill. I had a nice podcast with Bill. Nothing but respect for Bill. Love what he's doing with Joe. Love what he's doing for the city.
Yeah.
Again, Billy Moore. Go over and follow him, people.
He doesn't call people. I was getting trolled off, so he phoned me. You're right, there. You're right, big fella. You'll be all right. And he's he's a loving person. I've got all the time to help him. We didn't come here for the day at my house. All the respect, brilliant. And we speak when I haven't spoke for a while, but he's really good what he's doing for the city and obviously helping people.
100%. Now I'm the same with him, lad. Like, you know, you speak every now and again. I haven't spoke to Bill for ages, but like Bill's doing what he's doing, and I don't blame him for not like jumping on people and like saying, you know, what's happening, Ditchy, lad, because even speaking to people who are involved in like that YouTube community, what's like a bit of an embarrassment type, it makes you in your head become emotionally involved with that person and what they're going through, and it's not good. So it takes you off track with what you're doing. I've done it myself, bro. So but with Bill and that, fantastic. Who else was doing the good thing? Paul Stansby. Do you know about him, Bright?
He'll get interviewed by him on the 22nd.
He wants to interview me on the 22nd of the month.
Yeah, lad. He's a fucking good man, Paul. Steve Wraith.
All we are getting is good people who want to interview us and good people coming on the show. Just people like yourself who are helping in the community and people. It's good to what we say. We class it, Liam, as a family channel. And I say to everyone out there, when you're on here, it's like being in a pub or being in a Liverpool. We all have that community together. So what we do, we have debates on here, and we all try to help each other. If somebody's down, we lift them up, and somebody phones him, and it's just great to help each other.
Good on you, Bryce. See, like, I love, because obviously being a kid, if I phoned me nan or my mum now and said, I want a fucking interview with the tax man, they'd be like, fucking Brian Carroll, what fucking doing? But like, people who are new and like my age mightn't realise that, but like with yourself and Emma, like what you're doing, lads, and like it's giving people of your generation something to look at instead of all this circus shit what's happening on it. So good on you. Can I ask you a question?
You can ask me what you want.
What about Fighting Souls? Have you seen his progress? What he's been doing, lad?
I've never really seen anything on his stuff. I don't.
See. I understand the name might sound like he's a trouble causer or he's a, but he built a lot of people's channels who've turned against him. Like he's a lovely kid, lad. And you know the thing with him, Bright, is he won't look at the comments and go, and then start slowly turning against you to please people. He's himself. So some people mightn't like him, but he's himself.
Watch him.
Look at Steve Wraith, Steve Wraith, when he's on a live, he's like that.
Yeah.
Like, on the Snake, Paul calls his channel the Snake Pit. Phone Stevie Wraith and say to him, what was your experience like on the Snake Pit? Look, it's just a fucking free-for-all with like 900 people in the chat. But Stevie Wraith has proper got a little bug for it, and he's always popping in and having a laugh. But there's loads of good channels out there, Bright. But as I say with yourself, I like popping on your channel and giving a comment just to show, like, good on you, Brian. Good on you, Em. Do you know what I mean? But Emma's lovely as well, by the way.
Thank you.
Without Emma, we wouldn't be able to do it. She's the brains in the house.
Liam, whereabouts in Liverpool were you from?
Everton, Brow, Anfield, that way.
Yeah. Because I lived there for 7 years, didn't I?
I lived there for about 9 weeks, I think. In there. The big house there from Walton.
Brian was in the jungle, mate.
Oh, it's a mad house. I was in there. I tell this story, and a fucking big rat like that ran past the window. I was in with a lad called Steve Collins, and I was in with Mark Steele. He used to run all the doors. Cream, I think it was called, the nightclub. And I was in with them, and this rat run by, and I said, "The screws, there's a fucking big rat in here." He went, I said, why don't you get a rat catcher? He said, we've got one. He's next door to you. He's doing 3 months and beating his wife up. But I've got all the Scousers in there. The Lufters.
Mark Stiles.
Mark Stiles. Yeah, Mark Stiles was in. And
Stasy's all right, lads. Yeah.
If you ever see him, someone was asking about him, and he was padded up with me. But I think I was in about 8-9 weeks with him, and I was the only person, penal collar, because my legs were 36, 37 inches, my thighs, so they couldn't get nothing to fit me. and I'd walk around with my own clothes and everything. It was funny in there. It was good.
Right. Even like watching you back in the day, lad, like people who are on YouTube now, right? Some of them who weren't criminals or say they was but never done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like I grew up as a fucking teenage kid, 13, 14, 15. Brian Cockrell, the Noonans, fucking Paul Massey, all these people who fucking huge, mate, and took over the scene back then, and like it's different to now. You can't knock on someone's door now, Brian, and be the tax man, or you're going to jail. There's
cameras everywhere you walk nowadays.
There's fuck the cameras, the people more than the cameras, mate.
Yeah.
You're one of the last of a breed, mate, who won't ever be repeated. So big compliment to you, Brian. Like, but watching all them years ago,
you're a new breed, and you're doing what you're doing is out as well, mate. You help people, and we love you to bits, and you're a great kid. And what I love about you, same as Billy Moore, you tell the truth, and I can't. People tell lies. If you tell lies, you've got to have a great memory. And when they're on one podcast saying one thing, the next person another part. Wait a minute, you said different 6 months ago, so. Stick to the truth. Stick to doing what you're doing. Any advice for young kids out there carrying knives within the anti-knife campaign? Any advice for kids getting in trouble?
I'll give a bit of advice now.
Yeah, thank you.
Some people look at people who've murdered people. You don't realise they might regret doing that. Some people who've gone and done. So you're a young child, like with it. If you're a man. Now, at your age, Brian, my age, write a letter to your 18-year-old self on what to stay away from and where. So always do it whenever anyone's free in time. Get a bit of paper, write a letter to you at 15 and say, right, Brian, don't do that because you'll go to juveniles for that. Stay away from that guy because he's going to stab you in the back. And read it again to yourself at your age and go, fuck me. Like, all these people doing big sentences, one night of madness can lead to many nights of sadness. So you get people they will risk their life for 25 years for their friends, but won't risk a 9 to 5 to put food on the plate for the family. Like it's sad to see. I used to do it myself, mate, and it's all about ego and image. But your generation pride, our generation ego and image, mate.
What it is, and all I was in jail with 3 kids, and I was talking to them. We were having a bit of a talk in the jail. How long was it you thought before you killed that lad? He went 2 seconds. So 3 of them all said 2 seconds. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 25 years, 25 years, 25, 75 years now. We do it for 6 seconds. I went, wow. The hair stood up. They said, like the breath went. As I say, yeah, it's 2 seconds. Yeah.
Look at the little girl who's just been killed, little Ava White in Liverpool, lad. She was only 14. Like,
what's that?
The kids who killed the kid. Like, again, it's people were quick to proper jump on the kid's parents and say you've raised a scumbag, and them kids, mate, need fucking hanging for doing that. Again, little Ava, and I know the White family personally as well, so it's sad to see. Do you know what I mean?
Jameson. Do you know Mandy Jameson? She's just done a podcast with Billy Moore. Her son got stabbed. Daniel.
No, I know about his murder, and again,
I knew him when he was little,
the thing is, it's an epidemic now. We're trying to stop. We're going to pull in now the machetes. We're trying to stop machetes because why the fuck do we need machetes for any job or anything? So stop the machetes. Stop bringing them into the country. Stop the knuckle dusters, because what's a knuckle duster for? Punch them in the face. So we need to stop these stupid things coming from Spain and other foreign countries. And people are getting killed. Most people, the first thing they do, even Liverpool, you'll see in Manchester, I'm going to get a machete, I'm going to chop him up. It's the first thing they go for, not a knife, it's a machete now. Especially where we live as well. So most robberies are with machetes as well.
My mate, talking about machetes, mate, I'm going to highlight another murder. So you might have knew the dad. Did you ever know old George Bromley years ago?
No, I didn't know him.
So he was a bit of a fella in Liverpool. He used to call the psycho. He's an older fella, like, but he got shot dead in his kitchen, and then his son, young George, was in jail for threatening Stephen Gerrard. Then his other son, Tony, my friend, he was chased down on a motorbike when he was 18 years old on Valentine's Day and backed into the corner and tried to get into someone's house to run away from two lads, and they both had machetes. They hit him that hard with a machete, they snapped his spine, lad.
Terrible, isn't it? Yeah, terrible.
He died.
You're saying there, the damage you can do with a knife is bad.
He died texting his mum. That's what the police found, and like she Tony, like that was a massive thing. And one of the lads who went to jail for that, it's innocent as well. He shouldn't be in there. Everyone knows it. It's sad. His name's Dennis Gilboy. He shouldn't be in there. Sanjay shouldn't be there. I know their family. I know him personally. Bromley was actually my very, very good friend. So me to say that one person was innocent about it, it's not me trying to get a friend out of prison or get it. It's not right. He's out soon.
Sometimes you can get jailed by disassociating yourself with people who do what they do. And these kids are running about for drugs. They've got there's 20 quid. These people are making thousands off, and these kids are doing it. They get caught. They're going to jail. They're in jail. Once you go to jail, like you said, you get out. It's hard to get a job because you've been to jail. It's hard to get back on the streets. And then once you're in that life of crime and you go to jail, you get educated in jail because they teach you how to do more crimes and how to get away.
It's a criminal college, lad.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good saying.
When I was a kid, I only knew how to. Well, I didn't even know how to sell drugs because I got nicked with them. But like, I found out how to do a robbery or how to do. Yeah. I thought.
Taking a house. Yeah.
You get, and then the big mistake. I don't know why, right? So now, for the past few years, well, about 10 years. They've been putting 18 to 21-year-olds in proper con prisons.
Yeah.
Being shit. Their incentive behind it was the youngsters will learn from the cons to calm down and mature, right? Them youngsters come into the system wild. From the wild, they come into the cons and just disrupt the whole thing for all us older people and start switching everything up. But they get used on the wing to do things for people. So they come home then believing they're hitman because they've done a few things in prison, or they come home and they've been around a few big robbers or big drug dealers and get home and start going, wagwan blood, being around this guy, bro. Like, there's loads of different ways people can come out. Yeah. Like, I used to come out with a million ideas and be like, right, I'm going to be the next fucking big thing. I'm going to sell this here. I'm going to go in that area and sell this there. I'm going to, mate, listen. If I was everything I said that was going to come true, mate, I'd be on fucking Dragon's Den. But instead, I've been in the custody of Her Majesty's fucking pleasure for years because I was shit at everything.
At the end of the day, you only get away with it for so long, and then you get caught. And then,
I can't even call myself an ex-convict.
Makes more money in a year than you'll do because you keep going back to jail and back to jail.
Lad, how can I call myself an ex-drug dealer when I've been nicked every time I've sold drugs, right?
Well, I think you need to pack in doing it. Well, you have packed in doing it.
Mate, I think the longest I ever had doing it was 6 months, a year, lad, and then I was done. But my point being is, like, that mentality of talking to people, engaging with people, going to new places, we can use that in work or in. If you're in an area where all your mates are grafting, please believe me, you ain't ever getting out of that circle. If you get out of prison or you're in prison watching this, like some people will be, when you come home and you go back to your old friends and back to your old places, within a few days, the novelty wears off that you're home. People forget that you've just come home and you're back to, what's happening, lad? Yeah, come here and hey, what's happening? You want to go and do this? What? Yeah. It's curtains for you. If you go back to your area where you're from to try and change your life and be completely legit, it's curtains for you. The best thing to do is go and do a fresh start away from everything and have no one in your ear saying. So my worst mistake, sometimes I know what I'm going to do. And then I'll phone someone and my head will go and I'll think, he should tell me to do this as well. Or, that sounds good. But before I speak to anyone, I've got tunnel vision, and then it starts going over this way, that way, this way, and I get caught up in stuff. I get sucked into stuff, and then so it's fucking poison, right? But being around you and them and seeing you and them in your lives and that, you're fucking good people, mate. And do you know what I like about them, mate?
Yeah.
She always goes, right.
I can't see.
I never wear my glasses because when I put glasses on, I always think I look fatter with my glasses on because I put so much.
Yeah, she's
Brian, for once in his life, is definitely punching above his weight. You're doing all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for Brian, but you deserve that.
Here's another one for kids out there. When I always tell them this: if you're going to try and get off drugs, what I did is I took the numbers out on my phone. If everyone got a new phone, disassociate myself with people who are on drugs, kept away from people on drugs, stayed away from like families' houses to stay, get your small circle of friends, stick with them who are not on drugs, and keep away from them people because you'll end up going and you have like a honeymoon period. You've been off at 2 one thing, I'll have a little bit and back on the pipe, and 1,000 never enough, and then back on. So just keep away from people who are taking drugs.
You know what it is, Brian? Just get a hobby. Get a hobby. Like the gym. I go fishing a lot, lad. And since this 3D Fight Club, I've been smashing the boxing gym. But I like fishing. For me is fucking. Do you know what? I seen a quote not long ago, and it was like a reflection in the water, and it was a kid turned into an old man at the lake, and it said something like, "You can go fishing all your life and not realise it's not the fish you're looking for. It's just the fish, mate. See, camping overnight fishing, I get in bed out, right? Yeah. And put me sleeping bag on and lie there and just look at the stars all night, lad, and wait for me rod to go. It's fucking beautiful, mate.
Paul Whitehouse and Bob Mortar. You ever watch them? Going fishing?
I have.
Brilliant. And he's from Middlesbrough. You see that, lad?
I used to speak to Ali Amidi, lad. I used to do something with food and stuff. I used to cook food when I first come home as well. I missed that, but like Ali Amidi and that, like I've got on with them. I got him to do a video message to my friend's kid the other week. Yeah. I brought my friend and his kids fishing. His kids are only 12. I brought them fishing, but they're at that age where they're getting. So we went fishing with them. I'm trying to show my mate how to fish as well as the kids. So it's fucking graft. I've got my mate casting worse than the kids are. So the kids were beat and started watching Monster Carp and proper loving it. And for their birthday, I sent a WhatsApp to Ali Amidi and just said to them, do us a favour, all these kids are on the edge of like, not going to crime, but just being little shits. Yeah. And he sent them a video message to the both of them, named the two of them, and just said, I've seen you fish that you've caught, but keep it up, boys. Now, fishing, boxing, and racing pigeons are a dying sport, mate. The pigeons, right, for me, if I could go and get a pigeon loft now, Brian, I'd have the biggest pigeon loft you've ever seen in your life, and I'd be in there every day. I love them. But
you have to come and stop down here for the weekend with your lass. There's a few loads of pigeons coming our garden.
It's a dying thing, innit? You don't see it no more.
No, you don't.
But no, I'll happily bring my bird up and go. I'll happily go like that, 1,000,000%, lad.
Well, I'll just have to say goodbye to everyone because we've had Liam on and we've had him on long enough. We've been knackered now.
Have you been getting little shitheads in the comments or?
No, it's a lot of people started off being strange, but a lot of them have become got forgiveness now. Me and exposure of being at them.
Because the way I interviewed you, that's what it is. I thought you were really good lads. You know what I mean?
You are good lads.
You are good lads, but people interview you wrong and you make you look not as good.
Hands on my heart, the best interview I've done. You and Billy Moore, right up there. But with you, like, it's Brian fucking Cockrell, mate. It's quality. No, what?
People are saying, if you're good enough for Brian, good enough for them. Everyone's saying they understand and forgiveness and this, that, and the other. And
because you put your hand up and you've said, sorry, you've done this, you're a man, you've admitted the guilt of this. And I love you to bits because you're so honest, and that's what you've got to keep doing what you're doing because you're a legend. You're going to be a bigger and bigger legend than anyone in Liverpool because you're helping that many people out there, like Billy Moore. You're doing good in the community, so just keep doing what you're doing. But you must take time off for yourself and your missus.
I am, mate. But again, you and Emma, thank you. And you know, I actually feel that, right? like I've just spoke to the fucking therapist, lad. Like after this.
Everyone says that. So when you feel it, you're pussy.
I feel good. I feel good.
Yeah.
I could go out now and go on a jog and bump into someone and go, "Oh yeah, how are you doing today?" Like that's how I feel.
That's beautiful.
Brian, honestly, you and Emma, like hand on heart for how I've been the past few days. Yeah, thank you so much because you really, you've helped me, man. Just to talk.
Yeah, ready for you.
We love you.
The big man's upstairs is always here. And thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks, Em. Thanks, Brian.
And God bless you.
We love you, Liam. Thank you so much.
Love you a bit.
Right, 2 minutes.
See you later.
I know.
See you later. Oh, how lovely.
Brilliant. The comments are lovely.